Good morning, beautiful YouTube. My name is Missy and welcome back to Blended Roots Homestead. I wanted to talk about potatoes today. So, whether you've gone and panic bought, or if you have extra potatoes on hand, or if you're actually able to grow your own, I think that preserving the harvest is extremely important, whether that be it from Walmart or from your own backyard. So the other day I shot a video about how I can potatoes for my home, but the trouble was the intro, you could only see that much of me, so I'm telling you how awesome I think you guys are and you can't see me. So I have a couple of resources that I used while I was doing this video that I always go to the National Center of Home Food Preservation, that you need to figure out what is going on with your canner first, whether you go by a dial gauge, pressure gauge, if you're going to raw pack, if you're going to hot pack, what exactly you're going to want to do. I said in my last video that I went obsessive for a long time, and so I've read that entire website. So go and do your research before you go and start pressure canning, of course, but that I wanted to show you guys how I do it, and I hope that you enjoy and this finds you well and that you have a phenomenal day. So one of the questions that you might ask is, why would you want to can potatoes? So, you can go to the store and you can get one of these instant mashed potatoes for $1 at our local grocery store. But things are flying off the shelves, and once you think that you've conquered a run for one thing, there's another run on another thing, and that it's just, you can't plan out a meal anymore. So, our family eats a lot of potatoes. We like potatoes a lot, and we like mashed potatoes. We like them in soups, stews, things like that. So, in a jar of canned potatoes, just on hand, that you can just dump into whatever, you can blend it up with your sour cream, milk, and butter, or however you do it, that you can just dump it into your soup or your stew, and that it's just, you have it there. And with this being $1, that's great, but that's one meal. Go and buy your bag of potatoes, and it takes 20 pounds for 7 quart jars. That's 7 meals. So while we're waiting for our pots to boil and canner to come up to temperature and all those types of things, I'm going to show you what I've been doing. So a majority of this is just an eyeball. This is approximately 2 gallons of water with 2 teaspoons of citric acid. You can get citric acid at Walmart for $5-6 for a pretty large container of it. And then I have about a quarter of a bag of potatoes already cut up in here. Then you're going to want to have a pot of boiling water to put in your jars after your potatoes have cooked. This is the pot that we're using for cooking our potatoes, and then your canner. Now, depending on the canner that you have, you're going to have different instructions. Mine calls for 3 quarts, or about an inch and a half of water in the bottom. Cleaned it all out, went ahead and I turned my burner on low so that it will be heating up while I'm doing the other processes. Now, if you have got one of these pots, this is going to save your life. So, it has an insert that it's normally for spaghetti. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull these out whenever that water is boiling, and you're going to put it in that pot and let it cook for 2 minutes. Now, what you're going to need to can your potatoes is you're going to need hot quart jars. And I just sanitized these in my dishwasher. It has a sanitized setting. So now we're waiting for the timer to go off for our 2 minutes for our potatoes. Then we're going to strain them, and then we're going to put them into our jars. And a slotted spoon is very, very good for this. And you're going to want to leave 1 inch of headspace. And then since we don't want our potatoes to get brown, we're going to put the water in now. Okay, so you're going to want to fill it up to that 1 inch headspace, and then you want to get all of the air bubbles out. You can get a handy dandy little tool that works really well for this. I'm going to use a butter knife. Looks like we can fit a couple more potatoes in there. Then you want 1 teaspoon of salt per jar. Non-iodized salt, by the way. And then you're going to wipe down your lid. Put your lid on, not your lid, your rim. Put your lid on, finger tight, into the canner, and on to the next one. There's not enough left in here to actually seal up the jar, so we're going to put what's left into this jar, and then we're going to cover it with water so that it doesn't turn the ugly brown color. That's the point of the citric acid, is while you're waiting, the citric acid makes it to where they don't turn that yucky brown, black, red, whatever color. We're going to do that, and then we're going to fill that up with water. Actually, we're going to put salt in it first. It's okay to just sit over there while you cut up more potatoes. Okay, so now, since we're doing the second round, you're going to peel your potatoes. These are a better quality. I bought these a couple of days ago. That other bag, I don't know how long it's been in there. And I've just got my trash can set up next to me so that all the skins can go in there. If you have property and you're trying to do this, or even on a smaller scale, then like a big, large homestead, you could compost these. You could feed them to your chickens. This earlier. You want good quality potatoes to can. You want good quality anything whenever you're going to can. Whenever you find an ugly little guy like this, and I have shaved down a lot, he's garbage. This is going to be our last potato going in before we do that whole process all over again. So peel your potato. And I'm rinsing them off since I didn't wash them before I started cutting them, so. Rinse it off, cut it in half. cut it in half again, and then about bite-sized chunks. Into the citric acid water solution. Into the citric acid. Okay, y'all bear with me because I'm going to be trying to do this with one hand. And then you drip all over the floor and into your pot. Okay, our 2 minutes are up. So back to that jar that we were working on before. Slotted spoon, and just repeat. Up to the 1-inch headspace bubble remover tool. We can fit another couple more potatoes in there. Maybe one more. Okay. This is another thing, I don't sterilize my lids. It's going to be in a pressure canner for like 90 minutes. So in my opinion, the choice that I made for our family is that it's safe enough for me. And now, we only need 2 more to fill it up. Now you're going to let it vent for 10 minutes. For my area that's below 1,000 feet, we're going to process for 40 minutes at 11 pounds of pressure. See you in 40 minutes. Alrighty guys, so we cut up our potatoes, boiled our potatoes, processed the potatoes. For the 40 minutes, you turn the heat off and you leave your canner alone. And then after it has come down to 0 psi, you remove the weight, and then you wait for it to be done venting. It'll let out a stream of steam again. You let that be done. You wait a couple more minutes just to be safe. Take off your canner lid, remove away from your face, and then you pull out your jars. And you've got canned potatoes. 7 meals in the pantry for your family. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you later.